everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on a project in preparation for next Christmas, Christmas 2019. I'm all done with the 2018 paper pack challenge and we ended up with a little over 50 projects. It was fun. I had a little bit of paper left over, but those will go to tags and small projects and things. But today the project we're making is kind of like an organizer for your Christmas plan, or like a small Christmas planner, I guess. And I've never done one of these. I thought about this the other day and I thought, oh, I want to make one, but I haven't actually made one yet. So we're going to make one together, go through all the measurements, and I'll show you kind of what I have planned out. So I went in and got some of the kids' school paper, just the regular line 8.5 by 11 paper. And I don't even know how many sheets I have here. Probably like, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 sheets or so. And I cut it down to where it is, let's see here. It's about, 7 inches tall and 7 3/4. So let's see here. No, 7 3/4 tall and about 7 inches wide. And then I folded it in half, so this should be about 3.5. So yeah, it's about 3.5 by 7 3/4, kind of like, you know, paper folded over. Then I made these little guys, and I have, you know, we all have our own systems of doing things, and so this is going to be like my little check register or my spending register for Christmas. And we have a special account just for Christmas. So I'll keep track of spending on these little sheets. And okay, so let's go ahead and just try to stick it all together and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so I am going to cut this 8.5 by 11 sheet of craft cardstock. I'm going to cut it down to 8 inches wide and probably about 8 inches tall. So let's do an 8 by 8 and see what that does. 8 by 8. Okay. And we'll set these extra pieces aside. We may use those. I'm not sure. All right. So what we want to do is we want to round all of these corners. And then my idea was to kind of make this a rounded spine for the planner. So what I'm going to do is, obviously since it's a square, it's 8 by 8. We're going to take one of the sides and we're going to score at 4 inches. And then you're going to go a couple of score lines on each side of that. So we did 4 inches, so we're going to go to 4 1/8 and 4 1/4. Then we'll go on the other side, so we'll go at 3 7/8 and 3 3/4. Okay, so you end up scoring 3 3/4, 3 7/8, 4 inches, 4 1/8, and 4 1/4. And this is going to give us our little spine for our planner. I hope that makes sense. All right. Next thing that we would do, and I looked for my large stapler and I could not find it. So let's go ahead and kind of fold this in half. Try to fold it on that 4-inch line. Okay. So when I find my large stapler, all I'm going to do is stick it in here, and I'm going to put a couple staples in here to attach the paper to the outside of the booklet. All right. So I will do that off camera and then show you a picture of it when I'm done. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to attach like an envelope or a folder, something like that, to the back to hold receipts. So when I buy things, I can keep everything together for Christmas and keep that part of things organized. So basically we have about Someone took my other ruler. So we have about, I'm going to say 3 inches to work with right through here. So I'm going to grab my envelope punch board and just see what measurements, probably like a 3 by 7, 3 by 6.5. That would probably be good. So we're going to make an envelope 3 by 6.5 for a card size. That's 3 by 6.5. So we need a piece of paper that is 7 1/8 by 7 1/8. Okay, I'm going to cheat just a little bit, and we're just going to make this an even 8 inches. All right. So basically, you're going to have 2 pieces that are 8 by 8. One's going to be the base of your planner, and this is going to be the back envelope to hold your receipts. All right, so let's bring back the envelope punch board. And if we go back to the envelope I was going to make, we're going to score at 2 3/4. So let's line our paper at the top at 2 3/4. We're going to punch and we're going to score. We're going to be very, very close to the edge of the paper. That's all right. We'll line those score marks up. And we just have to use the measurements one time. And then we're basically just lining these score lines up to the little notch, little pointer thing on the scoreboard. All right. So now what we'll do is we will assemble this envelope, and we've got extra flaps here. So what we'll do is all right. So now we can fold in these flaps and put everything together. I'm going to grab some 1/8 of an inch score tape. I was making some Christmas crafts inside for teachers' gifts, and I think I left my thicker the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch score tape is inside the house right now. So, all right, so we'll just fold these flaps over like that. We'll run some of this adhesive down the edge of this flap like that. And put it together like so. And then this will leave so that we can open and close it to put our receipts in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Velcro on that. So I'll grab, I have like a long stream here of Velcro or hook and loop or whatever that's called. I don't even know. If you're not supposed to use the word Velcro, you're supposed to use some other generic term, but anyways, it's Velcro to me. So we're just going to stick one side of it. Let's see, let's stick it on here so we know that it's actually going to be on the outside. We don't want it sealing up the envelope. We just want to be able to open and close the envelope. So what we're going to do is just stick the other part on top of there. So we make sure everything's lined up. We're going to close that top flap. Make sure everything's stuck really well. And then you can open and close that flap like that. So we can put our receipts in there. Okay. Throw away the trash. So then we're going to take our envelope and we're going to attach it to the back side of our planner just like this. Okay, so we've made the envelope to go on the back for the receipts. So the next component we're going to make is the card holder that will go on the front, and this is actually the debit card to the account that I use for Christmas, just Christmas only. So I am cutting a 5 by 5 piece of cardstock. I'm going to get out the envelope punch board again. I'm going to make a gift card size envelope. So I'm going to score it at the 2-inch line is what it tells me. So I'll line it up with 2 inches on that first one, and then we'll go around to all the others, just lining them up, punching and scoring, and finishing up just like that. Now we're going to assemble this envelope normally, and actually we've got a little bit extra on the ends once again, and you're not going to see this, and it's not going to matter. So I just am barely cutting off, like I'm going to line the point up with 1/2 inch and cut that off just on the long sides of the envelope. I have a template that I usually use for like gift card holders and things, but I want to make sure it's not like a fully enclosed thing like the envelope is. I mean, this is all 4 sides and so forth. I really want to make sure this sticks, because this actually is going to hold the debit card for our Christmas account. So let's go ahead and assemble this. Let's just put some score tape on the bottom flap. And put one of those flaps over like that. Then we're going to stick some score tape in a couple different places, so that when we fold over this other piece, it will match up and stick together like that. And I have a little bit of overage, but that's okay, because I'm actually going to flip this over and I'm going to put this on here like this, and you're not going to see the back side of it. Now at this point, I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it on my trimmer at about the 2.5 inch mark. Okay, and I'm going to just cut it off. So all I want is this little pocket right here, and this is going to hold my debit card. And I keep the debit card tucked away. I don't, I know, as if it's not there, so that I don't touch that account all year long until basically Black Friday when I go Christmas shopping. So this is going to go down here, and I'm not going to get out the debit card, but just for the sake of showing you, this is just a gift card, and they just slide in like that. It's the same size, so it's going to go just like that. Okay, these are the little pieces that I cut for the check register, like I told you, to keep track of everything. And it's a little bit long. I don't really want it to overlap on to the card down here, so I'm going to cut this off a little bit. So let's see if that's any better. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this paper here is 3 inches wide and about 3¼ inches tall. I'm going to grab some extra craft paper. I'm just going to cut a piece that is 3 inches wide, and let's go with an inch, or so it's 1 by 3 is what we're going for here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score on that 1 inch side at 1/2 inch. So I'll bring it down here and we'll just score the 1 inch side, score it at 1/2 inch. So we just scored it in half. You can just fold it in half if you would rather do that. You don't have to score it. Then what I'll do is I'm going to take my paper, which I'm calling my register, to keep track of my spending. And I'm going to attach it to the very tip top of the front side like this. I'm going to grab my stapler. And the only one I can find right now is my little one. I'm going to just staple a couple, 3 staples, just like that. And that's going to hold in that paper so that I can keep track of my Christmas spending. Alright. This is going to go down here on the bottom. So in addition to putting some score tape on here, I'm going to put some wet adhesive as well. So what I'll do is I'll put just a couple strips of this score tape, and that will make sure that it sticks right now. And then I don't have to sit here and hold it while the wet glue dries. I'm going to grab my clear Tombow glue, and I'm going to just put some glue in between those two things of dry adhesive, and then just put a little bit on the sides as well. And then, like I said, we'll just put it down here towards the bottom like that. Give it a press, and everything should stay there just like that. Now, our envelope that is going on the back for our receipts, before I attach that, what I want to do is, we need another little piece, and there's several components to this, but I think it's going to be really cute in the end. This piece, I'm going to cut at 1.5 inches by 3 inches, and this is going to be the flap that's going to hold, it's like our closure flap, okay? So we're going to grab our scoreboard once again. Getting the score buddy is probably easier because it's smaller, but alright, so on the 3-inch side, we're going to score at 1 1/4, and then 1 3/8, 1 1/2, 1 5/8, and 1 3/4. So we're doing the same 5 score lines like we did on the base to give us a little bit of a curve there for the closure for our thing, just like this. So it's going to close like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to round these corners before I attach it. And I'm attaching this first because I'm going to staple it, and I'm going to hide the staples with the envelope on the inside, and then I'm going to put some decorative paper on the outside. So it's going to look like that. So let's go ahead and staple this down. This is the back side. So bring our stapler in here, and like I said, you're not going to see this, so if it's not, you know, particularly even or right on the middle or something, it's not going to matter. Okay, I'm just kind of holding it in place. It keeps wanting to move on me. Basically, my middle score line here, I just want that on the edge of the paper. So if I can keep that there. Okay, so there's that staple, and we'll put another one in there. There's that staple. Okay, I could have put some glue on there. That might have been a good idea, but we're going to cover, like I said, cover this back with some decorative paper, and we'll put some glue on there so that'll hold everything down. Let's grab our envelope here for receipts, and I'm going to do the same thing like I did to the card holder. So now we'll make sure that the flap is at the top. Stick our envelope on here for our receipts. Give it a little press. Okay, so that's that part. And like I said, if I could find at this moment my big stapler, this would be stapled in right now as well. And this is for, you know, notes, if I want to make a list of things throughout the year that I think of that I want to buy, or when it comes time next year for Christmas, this is where my lists and things are going to go. Alright, so that's the inside of it. So now let's go to the outside. And to finish this out, I'm going to get my ruler again. Maybe. Buried. Okay, so we're going to put mats on here, some nice little Christmas paper. And let's make them 3.5 by, let's do 7.5. So I'm going to use this paper. So we need 2 of them. So let's cut the paper this way first. Everything's in the way. All right, let me get this back out. So what you want to make sure of is your paper, if there's a certain pattern to it, and there is with this one, you want to make sure that you're cutting it the right way. So the top of my paper right now is on the left-hand side, and I'm cutting it at 7.5 inches. Okay, then I need 2 pieces that are 3.5, so I'll come over and I'll cut 1 piece at 3.5, and I'll cut another piece at 3.5. And lay these aside. I think I'm going to also cover our little piece here maybe. We'll see. I'm not really sure. So let's go ahead. We're going to stick it on there like that. Let's round just the corners on the right hand side for the front. And then if we flip it over, it's going to be the left hand side on the back. Okay, so once again, flip it back over. This is the front. Your curved edges are on the right hand side. We're going to repeat the process. What we have to do is attach the flap to the front, and we are going to use Velcro once again for that. So we'll just make sure we get out both pieces and match them up for size. Then I just take my scissors and cut off both pieces together so they're pretty much the same size. And just grab one of them. It doesn't matter which one. To me it doesn't anyways. One's going to go on the flap and one will go on the organizer. So we'll go ahead and stick this one, wrong way, stick it on the organizer, just on the edge, just like that. And then we'll stick this one with the, this is the fuzzy side, fuzzy part. We'll stick it on there. Fold the flap over to make sure that it ends up where it needs to be and everything lines up. Put it on there and smash it together. And then now you have a Velcro closure for your organizer. So you open it up and I'll have my little register for my spending, my card holder, and then my paper for notes, and my receipt holder for purchases. And everything will be together for next Christmas. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the project. We'll see you next time.